First of all, you gotta watch Bush. Bush is a cowboy, yo. Bush says, listen to me, I'll tell you. If you've got weapons of mass destruction, we're gonna all be mad. Yeah, right. And all the time he buying time. Because one thing we need to learn about war from white people, you got to get the logistics of war in position. Troops, aircraft carriers, triage, body bags, food, shelter, everything need to be put. He said, we got 10 more days to look for those weapons of mass destruction. He sounded just like John Wayne's mother, okay? So he said, yeah. Then when they said, what? Colin, everything right? Condoleezza, everything cool? Cool? Oh, you're a fine thing, you. Oh, now. he said, you locked in position? He leaned over the podium. Y'all remember? Saddam, you got 48 hours to get out of there. Now, nothing but a punk can leave. You can't leave. I like you come to my house and say, you got 48 hours to get out of there. Now, I want to go because I don't want to take this butt kicking, right? But I can't. I'm a man. I can't leave. Then they start whooping. Fine. Using their bombs, but then there's something that happens. It's called guerrilla warfare. America has never won a guerrilla warfare except for when they were fighting the Punky British in 1775. They can't win. They didn't win in Korea. They didn't win in Vietnam. They can't fight this kind of stuff. It takes heart. That you heard here today, they said there were troops that refused to fight. That been refusing to fight. And the body count is much higher. Anybody remember the Vietnam War? Today, two Americans were killed and 80,000 VC killed. They say, you're right, Walter Cronkite. Right? There ain't even 80,000 people in that village. You know what I'm saying? So it's common sense. So what you see, think of a global warfare. Out of chaos comes order. You cannot have order without the chaos first. There's no way, yeah, bro.
You spoke on like Bob Marley earlier, you said you knew him. So what do you feel about the attack that's going on with his kids? How they like infiltrating them and turning them against each other. People don't even realize that. How they like trying to break them up.
Them not Bob, The thing important about Bob comes from concrete jungle, the dungle, halfway tree. You know what I'm saying? Right. These kids were born in Miami with a silver spoon in their mouth. They're quite spoiled. And we can't expect them to be Bob. Right. Bob said cold ground was my bed and rock was my pillow. Now, he wasn't lying. He was singing his song of homelessness and hunger. So they're not made of the same things. They don't even understand the complexity of the struggle. Yeah.
So what about like the last child, Baby? He gave him a bad write-up recently. Because his music is slowly starting to change, and he's trying to reach out and build things. They got youth studios in Kingston. That's his idea. To try to do what his father did.
Yeah, him and Stephen. Yeah.
Write-ups in Caribbean Life magazine.
Well, who owns the magazine? Whenever you read something, who owns the mag? Well, you see, Stephen is more grassroots than Ziggy. Ziggy got an album with number white boys singing with him, and all of that. Them not Bob. Bob's special. You could sing like him and try to sound like him and move like him and all of that. But Bob had a thing that was transmitted in his lyrics and in his music that evoked the ancestors, that jarred your genetic memory. That's when you're talking about. These people are trying to follow him and them succeed, but they don't know nothing about capitalism and the war. They ain't never shot at them. They live in a good lifestyle, and most of them stay ganja'd up. So, and what tickled me was poor little Lauryn Hill. When they told me she was marrying a Marley, I said,
she didn't marry him. She just had a baby.
She didn't marry him?
She wasn't going to. She said no. She wanted to raise him.
Well, she better, because he wasn't going to be there.
That dude said the same thing by myself.
See, but they're setting a trend to the sistren. And then every sister has a package, and every brother can't necessarily handle that. You see what I'm saying? When the superstars, it's common amongst that, and these are good young sisters who went through something. And they ain't the first. But the whole thing that happens makes it difficult, as they face into this, you've got to be pretty secure to raise a child and say, this is my child. Because it is, biologically or non-biologically, all these children are. But if you're not in the ideological position to understand what your job is as a father, you don't have Dr. Mtulu Shakur said, I'm not Tupac's father, because I didn't thus and so, and I didn't thus and so, but he's politically conscious. So the children are confused, and it's beginning to get loose, real loose, you know? And the little girls suffer because then the singing, the popular singing philosophy in hip hop is hit them skins and go. That's it. And we gotta be honest about that, you know? And that ain't the first time, because our people sung Walking the Dog. Right. What was that? You know what I mean? We done our thing now. No.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Oh, wherever he laid his hat was his home. But when he died, all he left was alone. Right. He was. But go ahead, what would you say?
I want to change the flavor, because every time I go to meetings with us, you know, we go all around the issues and stuff, and we talk about ourselves a lot, what we don't do. Now, I'm not mad at Caucasians for screwing us. I'm mad at us because we are the only humans here. I don't consider them human. They can't produce, they can't metabolize, they can't come out in the sun. So I don't look at them as our species. I consider you like the warrior. I don't go listen to too many people speak, because you've been speaking for 500 years. The same message. We know the message. Marcus Garvey gave the message. It's the same message. It could be looked at like I'm a pessimist, but I don't see us doing something as simple as lighting a match and burning this shit down. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take nuclear weapons to create revolution. And I don't know where the warriors are. Besides 90%, I won't say 90, maybe 70% of our black men being faggots. The other ones being punks, and the other ones fronting. We don't have too many warriors. So when you say we need to teach the youth, I agree with that, definitely, because they go on after we die. But I don't think there's any other message except we are at war. The biggest trick is convincing you you're not at war. And if we don't understand that revolution is not rhetoric, it is doing something. Do you see us doing something?
Oh, yeah.
Do you see us doing
Oh, yeah. This youth is spectacular. I'll tell you, because I know that we have an underground. Always did, always will, and is ready. We have an underground. I had a brother take me out to the freeway in California and say, Baba Dell, you see where the freeway is closed up? I said, yeah. They said, well, you know, under there they have personnel carriers and heavy hardware. And I said, and they said it's our job to make sure it never gets to South Central, it never gets to there. There's South side. See, and first of all, before I finish, I chastise them for telling me. I say, am I military? Because I know if they start torturing me, they're up by the freeway, and ow, man, shit. And they all there, you know, because I'm not a military man. My job is information and propaganda, so you keep that in your cells. But there are cells in the United States that America is scared to death of. There are, some of those cells was active in guarding Tupac and had to be arrested for them not to pursue the killers. And they are people who were also my bodyguards in New Orleans. There is an underground network. It just like, and it operates on individual cells. And I'm glad it's not hitting yet, because revolution cannot be pulled off until the people above ground understand what's happening underground. And like in the village, they say, here's 2 bags of rice for the village and 1 for the brothers in the bush. And until we get that mentality to support that, back in the 60s and 70s, we used to be able to move people right on out of the country, all over around the world. We've lost those skills. We're going to re-up them. We got young people who are waiting, and I don't want them to be reactionary and go run out prematurely like we did in terms of the glorification that we did in California, where we use guns to help them close the loophole in the law and use that as a propaganda advantage only people who came in contact with Panthers. And the 60s was more than the Panthers in there.